Chapter 1. The First Awakening. The sun dipped below the desolate horizon of the bloodied grounds, casting a crimson hue over the remnants of a battlefield that had long since forgotten the glory of its warriors. To any other mortal, the sight would have invoked despair, but for Kazuma Ito, it was a familiar blanket of sorrow, a reminder that cycle after cycle he would rise from the ashes of despair, only to grapple with the haunting echoes of his past. Kazuma knelt in the dirt, the ghostly outlines of fallen comrades whispering stories to the wind. His battered leather armor felt heavier than usual, burdened by memories of laughter now silenced. He gripped the hilt of his sword, a weapon that had tasted blood his and others. It bore the scars of each confrontation, a testament to his struggle against the endless cycle of death. Exhaustion gnawed at his bones, but there would be no respite in this grim soil, not until he found the answers he sought. "Why do we linger here, Kazuma?" came the gravelly voice of Morwald, the undead knight, who appeared like a dark shadow flickering in the light of dusk. His ancient armor gleamed with an eerie glow, making him seem both formidable and ghostly. "This place will only bury you deeper in your regrets." Kazuma's gaze drifted to the horizon, where the sun's last light effaced the scars of war. "I seek understanding, Morwald. Each revival brings me more pain, more memories. The battle never ends. I need to know if there's peace waiting for me at the end of this." Morwald stepped closer, his presence both intimidating and oddly comforting. Peace? A noble pursuit indeed. But Ragnafell's essence is conflict. You must confront the cycles, not merely reflect upon them. Kazuma rose, determination stealing over his features. "Then I must confront the truth about my curse. I've faced death countless times, yet I continue. Why? Because you are meant to." Morwald's hollow gaze held an unsettling intensity. "You have powers tied to the very fabric of existence here, a power few understand. The world has refashioned itself around your soul, Kazuma. The truth will be revealed in the ruins of Eldoria." Eldoria, once the heart of a vibrant kingdom, now a ghost town whispered of only in hushed tones. "Why there?" Kazuma asked, his voice tinged with skepticism. "Because within those crumbled walls lies not just the history of Ragnafell," Morwald responded, "but the key to understanding your fate. Many who trod there have seen visions of what was, what is, and what could be." Kazuma's mind raced, pieces swirling like phantoms around his consciousness. The name Eldoria sparked a flicker of recognition. He had only heard of it in tales, stories filled with beauty and tragedy. Every path of confrontation led him to darkness, but perhaps this one could finally unveil the truth. As stars ignited in the twilight sky, casting silvery beams upon the wreckage, Kazuma nodded resolutely. "Let's go." The journey to Eldoria was marked by silence, heavy with He placed his hand against the cool surface, feeling the tremor of time that pulsed beneath. Somewhere within this decay lay the answers he sought. "Listen closely," Morwald urged. "The remnants of Eldoria may speak to you, but only if you are ready to hear." With a deep breath, Kazuma focused his will. As he attuned his senses to the surroundings, whispers began to swirl around him, soft voices drifting through the air, weaving a melody that caressed his thoughts. Memories of joy turned to heartache, battles fought flashed vividly before his eyes, intertwining with the lives lost and dreams shattered. Kazuma. Time slowed as Lyria's voice emerged from the quagmire of sounds. It was rich with power and pain, grounded yet ethereal. "You have to find a way to end this suffering. I need you to return." His heart leapt, the queen's essence tethering him to the present. In his memories, she stood regal yet weary, her silver hair shimmering in the light, her violet eyes burning with fierce determination. She was a beacon amidst chaos, her strength a stark reminder of the burdens they both bore. "Lyria," Kazuma shouted, reaching out as if she could materialize from the past. "Guide me out of this darkness. Tell me what I must do." "Eldoria holds the key," her voice echoed, "but beware, what you seek may change you forever. The truth is not always kind." Kazuma felt a shift, the very ground beneath him vibrated, and the fabric of reality stretched. Shadows entwined around him, swirling like a tempest, as faces flickered in and out, lost warriors reaching out for solace. They were bound by their endings, by the unbreakable curse of their bloodshed. Suddenly, the ground roared, tearing itself apart as ancient sigils ignited with eerie luminescence. Kazuma stumbled back, but Morwald steadied him with an iron grip. "We have stirred something," the knight intoned, gripping his sword tightly. "Prepare yourself, Kazuma. The depth of your confrontation lies ahead." Before them, an arch of light shimmered, exposed by the perturbation swirling within the ruins. Gazing into its brilliance, Kazuma felt a force tug at his core, as if calling him forward. He had been summoned to break the cycle, to bring forth an end he could scarcely fathom. With a deep breath, Kazuma stepped into the maelstrom of light. Colors exploded around him, painting the darkness with vivid hues. He was whisked into visions, a cascade of moments. The rise and fall of kingdoms, the faces of allies, the betrayal of foes, entwined with laughter that turned to wails of despair. A cacophony that mixed warm memories with cold reality overwhelmed him, each wave more potent than the last. Lyria's promise echoed insistently, urging him to find strength in the pain that coursed through him like molten steel. Then, abruptly, the whirlwind stilled, plunging him into a stark chamber filled with ancient runes and etched stone. In its center, a pedestal held a dark crystal, pulsating ominously. A sense of foe. I will not be a pawn in this cycle any longer. If I am to break this curse, I must harness its power, not fear it. Morwald nodded solemnly, a hint of approval glimmering beneath his haunted demeanor. Then you will need allies, those willing to fight alongside you. Strength comes not only from within, but from the bonds you forge. Kazuma stepped back, drawing the sword that had seen too many battles and borne the weight of his curse. Then I will gather the warriors ready to join this fight. Together, we will forge a future, not just for us, but for all of Ragnafell. With newfound determination fueling his steps, Kazuma turned from the pedestal, the darkness eclipsing the crystal retreating into the shadows. The road ahead shimmered with uncertainty, yet a glimmer of hope bloomed in the ruins of Eldoria. He was ready to unravel the threads of fate and rewrite the story of his rebirth. As he and Morwald departed the haunted remnants of the past, the first whispers of dawn began to kiss the horizon, signaling not just a new day, but the possibility of a new beginning.